You feel me? Nah, I ain't talking about. I'm leaving that alone. It's a lot with that, you know. It's a lot, but you know what? Since you said something, since you brought it up, sir, you know, I'm a I'll talk about it now, right? The Adam and Wack back and forth. Um, of course, it's over the situation with Stan G from Clubhouse coming up on No Jumper. You know, now I used to be on Clubhouse. Um, I don't really know Stan G like that. I just kind of just remember seeing him in passing. I used to be in Wax before the 100 side became a thing. When Sleepless in L.A. The first room Wack was in before he inevitably built the 100 side, his original home room, which is a Sleepless in L.A. I used to do a room in Sleepless in L.A. every other Sunday called That Ain't in the Bible. Fire. Shout out to B Mac, um, Rocky, and everybody that was up over there. Right. I remember the day when they burnt, quote unquote, burnt the house down. When Wack and them burnt the house down after Wack and Rocky had got into it after like the second and third time. But yeah, Stan G used to be on there. But R&B, I know R&B um, from even before she had got with Wack. She used to be helping and assisting Freddie Roosevelt run his room. Now I'm not because I understand that sensitive that is Wack's woman, and I understand the insinuation of anybody having any type of romantic involvement with her and trying to weaponize that in any way or utilize that to chase clout. I get that. You feel me? So I get his defensiveness um on this topic. Now Stan G's turning around and saying, because he didn't say that apparently um in his interview with Adam, that there was any type of romantic connection with him and R&B. But he's saying that now. I just seen the video. He just was saying that. Feel me? Oh, we up in here? The Hemway. We on W Hem. We gonna get to these. But look, so I already knew I didn't know nothing. So now could like Stan G talking about like there was something like she wanted Cud and Cud ain't want her. Um, do I call that into doubt? Certainly. R&B is a beautiful woman. Stunning. I can't see a nigga turning that down. I just can't see it. That's just me, right? And Wack got him a real gem, and not just because of how she looks, but also what she brings to the table. So I got acquainted with R&B through Freddie Roosevelt, which was the room that she was in and helping and assisting in running prior to her going over there to the Hunter side and then inevitably becoming romantically involved with Wack. So that's how I came to know her. She's great, cool, got a good rapport with her. Always have absolutely nothing negative to say um about R&B. So I understand the defensiveness, man. Some niggas, man, in Wack's case, some niggas don't. There's a line. Everybody got a line, right? Some they're just not entertaining playing about, and usually wives and kids, that's that line. The family is typically the line if nowhere else is the line. So I understand that, and he doesn't want somebody just kind of getting their claim to fame off of coming up off of him, and I understand that. Um, I get it. I understand his frustration, but also I understand Adam's position in that he's running a business, and it's a business that he built and established long before Wack came into play. Uh, I'm sure he values the business relationship and off-screen friendship that he has with Wack, but he has to keep in mind that he is running a motherfucking business. So I see both sides of the coin in this situation. If I was in Wack's position, I may feel exactly like Wack. If I was in Adam's position, I may feel exactly like Adam. I could literally see both sides of the coin. But I didn't think it was a lot to enough to really like delve off into. That's why I didn't. You ain't gonna lie, these are fire. W. Wow. Big cheese said, correct me if I'm wrong. Robert Bridges, Wack's whole business model is speaking to everyone else. That's part of his business model, for sure. 100%. So, by that logic, I can see why somebody would say, well, shit, you speak on X, Y, and Z. I think his deal is understanding niggas gonna say whatever they want to say, but Adam, we better than that. Why would you allow that? But now again, I think Adam's position was, hey, nigga ain't say nothing, but he used to talk to her. Now, of course, we know how our people talk when we say, oh, I used to talk to her. Me and her used to talk. We're insinuating something romantic, something extra platonic. Adam's thinking, he just think that mean, oh, they used to communicate. I've communicated with R&B. I'm not going to say talk, even though it's technically, back and forth talking, but it doesn't matter because I understand what that word insinuates in people's minds. And I wouldn't want nobody to ever get that twisted. So I think that's kind of where his objection came from. But we got to understand something. It's just like, let's talk about business. I see that too. If Adam values his relationship with Wack, he could have asked his opinion prior to the interview or even off camera instead of pushing the issue repeatedly. Now, I'm going to show y'all something. I'm going to show y'all something before I even get into this, right? Because I watch things. Let's go to no jumper, right? I want to go down for like a couple weeks ago. Yeah, these hoes kind of spicy though, cause I ain't gonna lie. Right here, Deshaun Cotton interviews, right? Let's go down. Because I'm going to show y'all what Adam on. So I'm showing y'all this because when this was a good interview, number one. But when you got people like just this week, academics sat down with Vlad. Just about a month ago, Adam sits down with Sean Cotton, owner of Say Cheese. Me, I'm a nigga with a business mind, business acumen. That's what I've always been about since a small child. I had an e-commerce. I'm a hip y'all to something. I had an e-commerce site in third grade. Was it third grade? No, probably fourth grade. Mind you, fourth grade is like 2001 for me, right? I had an e-commerce site. It was called G Shopping. I never told that story. I had a site G Shopping. It was like it was G Shop and then just the letter N. G Shopping. Because my last name, right? Start with a G. So, but just to, I have built a website, this was like when you could just, it wasn't a GeoCities. I had a GeoCities website too. I had a tripod. Website. What else I had? I had, what the fuck else I had? This one I'm talking about, though, G Shopping, this is my first one. It wasn't on neither of those. It was like on uh I don't even know, right? But I was trying to build an e-commerce site all the way in 2001, right? I had got to try to get a Scottrade account. You know, now it's TD Ameritrade, whatever the hell it is. I tried to get a Scottrade account at that same time in fourth grade, right? So just so you understand where the hell my mind, how business minded I've been throughout the duration of my life, by the will of God. So anyway, so I understand that when the academics sit down with the Vlads and the Adam 22 sit down with the Sean Cottons, that this is an insightful business conversation. So it's something that intrigues me and it's definitely going to get my click, right? Other than that, I'm not listening to Sean Cotton because shout out to Sean Cotton. He's built a hell of a business and platform with Say Cheese. But I think that he is pretty uninteresting. And I'm not a big fan of a lot of his takes. But I like this interview because it was more business focused. And I'm definitely a fan of his business takes and his insight as a businessman, of course, because he's a successful businessman. So this was interesting. So we're getting here, and this is what I believe Adam is doing right now. It's based off of this clip.
All the content that we did that's super exciting for us this weekend is like stuff that you probably wouldn't do because this is kind of like territory that you've already covered over the years.
Like what?
You know, like obviously, like you've done. Well, I'm sure you've done Maxo and like you know.
Nah, I've never done a Maxo.
Really? Oh, okay. Well, yeah.
Like I've been a Maxo fan like for years since he dropped like the Lewinsky joint like years ago. Like
Right.
like I've been a Max. We just never did it. Like I don't know if I don't know. Like I don't know if it's
You
back.
think he might be a hater?
No. Definitely not a hater. Like been around him for sure. Like we converse when it's time to converse. But I don't know if like somebody on his team. I don't know if it's a team thing, but we just never did it.
It's also like you want to wait for the right moment.
Nah, we've had a
You don't
lot
agree
of
with that?
we've had a lot of nice moments like where it would be a good interview.
Yeah.
But Maxwell's one of them ones. Like he's definitely like a Houston OG.
Yeah.
Like he got the hood, he got the street.
The little pumps.
Yeah.
He said that he's like, damn, Adam had.
For both of them, like him got going on like that's like real.
Yeah, than me, but he took it as more like a racialized. Going to Houston and doing content with all these artists and bigging up.
Driving his car, already doing his thing. I ain't gonna come in and act like.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I'm a creative player. Like that's like.
And at this time, he had no followers.
This one I'm talking about right here.
Told my girl, I said, I'm gonna make this guy rich.
Really?
I'm a creative player. Like that's like.
And at this time, he had no followers.
Look at Adam now. Look at Adam. I watch Adam. Y'all gotta pay attention.
I told my
nigga like me, I pay attention.
Our girl, I said, I'm gonna make this guy rich.
Really?
I'm a creative player. Like that's like.
And at this,
you see that nod right there? Adam understands where Sean Cotton is coming from fully.
this time, he had no followers. Like how
He was known. He was known in the city for sure. Like he was already doing his thing. I ain't gonna come in and act like he was just a bum on the street and I just turned him up. But I did turn him up. But he already had the formula down. Like he already kind of semi understood the internet. So I told my girl, I said, I'm gonna turn him up. And then he used to put his number all over the internet. And I had text.
So, you know, Adam's got a light bulb right now. And he's understanding, again, they're having a business conversation. And Adam is saying and thinking in his mind, he needs to create a player. Now, of course, there's the C-Max and there's the 4 Extras. Now, they kind of was already climbing and getting on platforms prior to Adam snatching them. But Adam certainly, definitely helped skyrocket and catapult their careers. But as polarizing as they are, they're not quite, and they don't have the range of a Charleston White. So now Adam is doing, number one, he's been trying out different personalities a lot on the news, on the No Jumper Show, etc. But also they're doing the search of 50 people next week, right? They're doing the Can You Be the Next No Jumper host in a very unorthodox, almost Squid Games-esque style of competition where 50 people will be streaming over the course of 14 hours with people being gradually eliminated until there's only one man or woman standing. That's a big deal. That's going to be huge. And I think that's kind of what Adam is in search of. Who's going to be his Charleston White? He's had the C-Mac. He had C-Mac 2.0 and 4 Extra. But he wants somebody with the longevity and the range and the entertainment value of Charleston White, of the capturing of the attention of the masses that Charleston White possesses. Them other guys, yeah, don't get it twisted, they're polarizing, but not for the same reasons Charleston White is. Right? They are essentially caricatures. Charleston White is a fucking genius. You see what I'm saying? It's different. So excuse me. It's different. That's the point. It's different. And I think that's what Adam is looking for. Because it's going to be a mutually beneficial situation. Number one, of course, if Adam can lock the individual into a deal, it's going to be mutually beneficial for both. Making somebody is beneficial. It helps Sean Cotton.
Text him. I said, "Yo, this is Say Cheese. Like, let's do an interview." And he didn't hit me back. So I'm like, damn. And then he was still posting on Facebook. So I had called him one day. He didn't answer. Then I texted him. He finally got back with me. And then we did the interview. And
did it go nuts from the first one?
No, it didn't. It didn't. Okay. I knew it would took 3 tries.
Really?
I knew. I didn't pay him. He pulled up with Dewberry, and that interview didn't go up because the audio f***ed up. So we did it a second time, and then he said like Nipsey and George Floyd. He had said some that kind of got a little traction, and then he went at Gilly about the Lil Uzi Papa Corvette.
And you never had any kind of communication about what he was going to talk about in the interviews? It was just whatever he felt like saying?
Nah, like nothing scripted, nothing planned. And then at the time, I think I still wasn't paying him. And then Vlad had paid him like $2,500. And then I was like, shit, like, let's do whatever Vlad gonna do, I'll double it. Cause like, we tight now.
Do you have any idea how many you've done with him at this point? Dozens.
Charleston's made over $1 million with me.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
Charleston has made over $1 million with Sean Cotton. Talking this type of turkey, you see that, Adam? He's going. Yep. Yep. That's that business wheel spinning.
Like each interview, I'm giving him from 75 to 10.
Really?
But his interviews do so good, I don't mind.
But you used to cut up into clips and then drop the full thing, and now you kind of just drop the full thing.
I like this interview because you giving game.
Yeah. I've always been curious because I've seen you go back and forth a little bit.
Because interviews do more money in full.
You think that overall that makes you more money?
Yes, it does.
Really?
You got to add the ads in. Yeah. I don't want to give away too much game.
Yeah.
Add the ads in every minute.
But that's how I know I'm disconnected because I haven't had to add the ads in myself in a long time. And the other day I'm talking to Trap War Ross, and he mentioned like, well, you can monetize, you could do a mid-roll ad at 8 minutes, but if you get it to 12 minutes or 18 minutes, then you can get 2 in or whatever. And he's like telling me like exactly. Like, he's thinking about the length and how many ads. Because I'm like, I ain't thought about that in so long.
I'm looking at 1090 Jake and I'm looking at the Trap Boy Ross's, and I'm like, how the f is Trap Boy Ross getting money and he's only doing 4 interviews a year type shit? Remember when he used to rarely do shit?
Yeah.
But it makes sense now because you're making more money in one chunk, and then you can still break it down afterwards.
Well, that's what he's really smart with is he'll make the video so that he can cut out the chunks and put it on the second channel. But then, I was looking at his channel and like he'll get 5-6 million views in a month without putting anything out. So his back catalog goes crazy, which is something that is probably better than the interview.
Yeah, because it's like he does more like a dinner documentary type of format. Like
people just go back to it over and over. Yeah,
I always wonder like would Vlad start doing full because it makes more money.
I mean, he does clips and then full, but then he also has the membership. Same thing with us, where it's like,
yeah, he giving all the game right now. It's just a fact. It's what's going on. He giving the game, but this is what they doing. They chopping game. And Adam's wheels is turning, and he's thinking about what's going to take No Jumper to the next level. And he wants to see who a personality is going to be.
Like he's trying to get people to give him $5 a month, and
Do
then
people
they
pay
can
you for
get
the
it.
membership?
He has more than us, but he's been doing it for like 5 years. It's definitely decent. I can see it growing and growing. Like he told me how much he was making from it, like the first month, and then I never asked about it again for like 4 years, and then I asked him about it, and I'm like, oh, okay. I probably should have been doing this from the first time you told me about it. Okay.
6 figures, damn near?
No, but it's still like solid, And it's like having money that's consistent and doesn't depend on you doing a million different fucking interviews and getting a million different clickbait headlines and whatever. Like that's gotta feel pretty good,
Yeah, damn. But yeah, with Charleston makes a pretty big bag with interviews, and I mean now he's doing the Aiden shit. Aiden's giving him like 30 grand. Like he's
the streamers f- the game up.
And that's why we streaming. See, that's why you got to do both. That's why I do both. Right? Shout out to streaming, man. Okay, but that was just based off of Big Cheese. Big Cheese asked the question that led me and spun me into that. But why I bring that up is let me bring myself home before I move. Is this? I think that's part of the reason why. Adam brought Stan G on. He's analyzing people and the viability of them being a potential breakout star, and capturing the attention of the masses. That's what I believe. So Adam prioritized that business move over Wack's feelings in that instance, and I understand it from a businessman's perspective, hands down.